Hello world, my name is Steven, but you can call me Chill Vibes, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a redesigned drawing. These are redesigns for 3 video game characters, and they are all 3 from the Sonic franchise. It's Sonic, Shadow, and Silver. In case you guys didn't know, I am a huge Sonic fan, always have been. I've been drawing him since I was like 5. I didn't know exactly what to do for the redesigns going into it, but I decided to stick with some simple things for at least Sonic and Shadow. Silver I changed a little more drastically. I am sorry that I haven't been uploading frequently, but it's like I said, college life has been crazy, and there's been a lot going on, so I just haven't had, enough time for all of that. Just continue to be patient with my channel. I appreciate I got 29 views on my latest video, which is pretty awesome. That's not as many as I was expecting to get, so to all of you, my viewers, thank you for watching. I think that's about all I have to say. There will be some commentary. I just hope you guys enjoy. Thank you. Okay, so let's get started. First and foremost, I work on Procreate for all of my digital art. I just recently got it, but it's a very nice app. Very easy to use and very user-friendly. I guess it's one-in-one saying the same thing, but anyways, so what I started out with for this design is very simple. I just wanted to change his shoes and remove his eyebrows. The reason that I removed his eyebrows is because every single time that I've drawn Sonic in the past, it's always been extremely difficult for me to draw his eyebrows, and I have no idea why. It's honestly very confusing to me myself, but as for the shoes, I decided to go with the movie design of the shoes, just without all the extra realistic shoe detail. The reason I did this is because I really like the design of the sole on the shoe, which is a very simple thing, but the way that it curves in on itself is very unique and fascinating to me. So I just went ahead and changed those 2 features about Sonic, but I mean that's really just about it that I changed for him. Right now I'm adding in all of the colors, and I made sure to do all sorts of good shading. I originally had this little bit of glare on his eyes, but I decided to remove that in the end because it just didn't look right. And then I went with multiple different colors of blue to get the exact right color I was looking for. I didn't want it to be too light or too dark, so I went somewhere right in the middle. This right now is not his final color. You'll see the final color later on. I did want to point out though, if you are just getting into art, never make white pure white. Always make sure and go with some form of gray, whether it be very light gray or a somewhere in the middle kind of gray. Because if you do plain white, it's going to look a little odd, and if you want it to look a little more realistic or just professional, then that's the way to go. Now I'm just adding the finishing touches on the shading. Once I'm done with the shading, I'll go ahead and add in a little background habitat for him to run around in. The good thing about Procreate is that it has a lot of different brushes, and by brushes it's like a tool kind of thing, so it allows you to do different strokes and sort of filters, I would say. Also, the lightning I decided not to keep in the final thing because it just looked a little odd. There you go. There's Sonic. So, I really like this design, how it turned out. I'm still switching between the darker blue and lighter blue because I don't know which one looks better. So, I'm actually going to leave that up to you guys. If you guys want to, go ahead and leave it in the comments which you think I should roll with and keep as the selected skin tone for Sonic's fur. Okay, so moving on to Shadow. This one was another pretty easy and simple design to roll with. Again, I removed the eyebrows because I just don't like that feature. And I'll tell you about the other design here in a minute. I originally had this pose, which was just kind of a, standard Sonic character pose, but I didn't really care for it too much, and so instead I decided to use a pose that would be utilizing Shadow's main feature, his rocket boots. So you'll see the design get, or the pose of the design get changed here in just a sec.
Compromise does not exist. His world of wolves, every step meets the rest. Running it back again, well, what'd you expect? Coming out to win 10 out of 10. Got a real rough pass. Spikes up his memory and straps on his shoes. Cause he's the best there ever was. Haven't you heard the news? Intergalactic continental champ, running things. Hyperactive, instrumental in pulling strings. He is the one who understands when the tides will swing. So he's breaking down doors, never far away. Come on and psych yourself up, cause it's time to play. Bounce to the beats and the rhymes, cause they're here to stay. The one and only marathon man living the day.
So of course I'm using Sonic as a reference for the color palette because Shadow's muzzle is a little bit darker toned than Sonic is. I don't know why this was a design choice, but personally I like it. I believe Silver's is a little bit lighter, which is why I'll use Sonic again as a reference, but in any case, I really like the way that Shadow's color palette turned out for this design. I did decide to add another red stripe on his back quills because I wanted to, you know, add a little bit of my own design features to it, and honestly it's a little confusing as to why he doesn't have red stripes there, since he has some running on his head quills. And of course I was going for the skin tone design there. You saw a gray flash right there. I didn't know whether I wanted to make him gray or black, because the black design obviously is very iconic and awesome by itself, but this red one here is not his normal design. That's just his powered up design when he, you know, does Chaos Blast and all of that kind of cool stuff. So right here, the habitat he's running around in is a factory. Made it look like it's an escape scene with the red lights going off in the background. Okay, so that was Shadow. I really like the way that this one turned out. The back quills are just a simple yet additive design, so it doesn't really take too much away, but it does help the character look a little more, you know, official, I would say. But yeah, super simple design, but I really like the way it turned out. So moving on to Silver. Silver is always a very difficult character for me to pose because his powers are amazing, yet it doesn't allow for too much action, because if you're psychokinetic or telekinetic, you're just going to be standing there moving stuff with your hands, you know, or mind. So I just went with a simple kind of walking pose where he's looking extra cautious, maybe even got surprised and he's about to attack. But in any case, I just went with a very simple pose for him. The fingers I don't really get. I don't know why I did that on the right hand, but it looks okay, so I just rolled with it. Made him look angry as always. And then I decided to shorten his boots, because originally he did have boots, but I liked the idea of shoes because it allowed more flexibility. I can understand if you guys don't like it. It does look a little bit odd on him, but personally I just like the design, and I went with that. I might change it in the future if it just doesn't look too good with me. I know that the little buckle there at the very top of his left shoe looks a lot, but... Okay, and then the reason that I'm making his eyes, the black part of his eyes there, cyan, is because when he's using his powers, I wanted him to have a little bit more glow to them. So features such as his eyes and the lines around his eyes will glow up with that color whenever he starts using his abilities. But his neutral eye color is still the same. And then I decided to make his shoes black instead of navy blue, and then change his gloves to black. The reason I changed the gloves is because in the future I didn't think everything would remain the same. So I decided to add that, you know, things change in the future for cars, with cars for example. So I wanted to go with something simple, that little design change that might happen, fashion design. Then, when he's not using his abilities, the little rings on his gloves and the rings around his cuffs will not be glowing. They'll be in that weird, dull color. I made it look kind of chalky and, powered down. But whenever he does use his abilities, it will be affected, and they will start glowing. Even the insides of the cuffs around the shoes will start to glow. Originally I had the fur on his chest be a little darker, but I decided to make it a little bit lighter because it helps contrast with the gloves and the shoes since they're such dark features. I also added that little red thing on the back of his right shoe just to add a little bit of design to it because he didn't have that previously. Okay, so now we're going to be moving on to the powered up feature of Silver. He'll have that little glow around him, just helps him look extra cool. And as I mentioned, the eyes, the gloves, and the lines around the eyes are all glowing up now. Added a very slim outline to him and added this psychokinetic fire that's around him, this sort of aura that's just drifting away from him. And then of course the environment I decided to place him in was inside of a volcano, or a volcanic sort of place, because in 06, as some of you may know, that is where he spends most of his time since the future is destroyed by the Iblis creature. And Silver is done. So now, I just want to talk. I really like this design, the most probably out of the both of them. I don't know. It's probably a close tie between him and Sonic. I really like the design that I came up with. Looks futuristic yet still somewhat simple. I didn't want to go like all out and add a bunch of different clothes and scarves because everybody else does that, and I'm not bashing those people by any means. I just simply don't like that design myself, because it takes away from the Sonic franchise aspect of things, and it makes it seem like something else. So I just wanted to change one small thing with the color palette, and that was just the gloves that I went through. I also decided to change the eyes to make them glow up and all that, just to add more of a powerful kind of vibe to Silver. So these are all three of them now. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a very simple, time-consuming video to make. Even previously, like, these drawings took a lot of time. So, but I do appreciate you guys watching all the way through. Just let me know what you guys think of these. I would like some input so that I can continue working on more designs. Maybe in the future I'll even start working on some of the other characters in the franchise. But yeah. As of right now, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for making it to the end if you have. Of course, don't expect me to be posting too much, but once summer hits, I'll definitely get a few more videos out there. So, with that being said, stay hype, stay cool, stay chill. Chill Vibes, checking out.